Alright guys, what's going on? My name is Christian and welcome to another video. Before I get started, as always, let's aim for 6 likes. If we can smash 6 likes, that would honestly just be the greatest thing ever. And yeah, so just hit the like button, takes like 2 seconds, and leave a comment. I read each and every one, I promise you that. So let me just start off this story by saying there's this huge lake in my town, right? I mean, like, totally enormous lake. And it has a beach on it. So they put like sand in, I'm guessing it's not natural. So they put this sand in, and it was just this big section where everyone could, kind of treat it like a beach. And so anytime we would go to this place, we'd be like, oh, let's go to the beach. And so on this particular day, me and my 2 friends, we'll call them Frank and Chris, we're hanging out, right? And we're like, okay, why don't we go to the beach? Because we were all at Frank's house, and later on we were gonna go meet some girls. There was like 3 of them. Frank was in a relationship with one of them, and then he told his girlfriend to bring like 2 friends, and he would do the same. And then later that night, we were gonna like spend the night at Frank's house, like after we went out to with these girls to the mall. But anyway, we got to his house at like noon, and we weren't going to see the girls until like 6 or 7 or something like that. So we decided to go to this huge lake, which we called the beach. So I want to say we got there about 1, right? And we kind of just swam around. We brought our football, and we would just like throw the football and do like diving catches and stuff, and like do swimming challenges, see who could swim the fastest, and like just, stuff like that. Like we just had a lot of fun. Like the beach is always a blast, like especially when I'm with friends. So anyway, we were out in the water, I want to say about like 2 hours. Like we spent a lot of time out there. We were absolutely pooped, and we had set our towels up in a little cooler with, pops and Gatorade and stuff out on the beach. And so we each laid it down, all 3 of our towels, and we were just like, okay, let's go lay down. We were gonna just go, but at the same time, we didn't want to go back and just play video games. And we had like another 4 hours, something like that, I don't know, before we went and saw those girls. So we didn't have to head back for like an hour or 2. So we went down and sat on our towels, grabbed a drink, and just kind of like sunbathed, I guess. So on this day in particular, there was quite a few people at the beach. I want to say about 100 people, which, this sand section, there was like 2 sand sections, and this one wasn't particularly big. And so 100 people was actually kind of a lot for this section. And I want to say a good 20 minutes into us sunbathing, this really fat girl comes over, right? So not over to us, but kind of just like in the middle of everyone, I want to say, or close to it. And she was wearing this 2-piece bikini, the type of bikini that a fat girl shouldn't wear. And you're probably like, well, Christian, then what type of bikini should a fat girl wear? I don't know, but just not a 2-piece, because it was like totally fucking nasty. Anyway, so this girl comes out, and like right away, you kind of just notice something's off about her. Whether she was drunk or high or something, I don't know, because she was like stumbling around, and she's like, hey guys. And we're just like, hey, because she's directly in front of us when we're like in the middle, and she's like, do you guys want to see me strip? And like right away, I'm the first to answer, and I'm like, no, I think we're okay. Thanks for the offer though. And like at this point, we knew she was like fucked up on something, probably alcohol. And she's like, what? Do you guys not think I'm sexy? And I'm like, no, it's nothing like that. And like in my head, I can't even believe this is happening, right? Like you hear about this stuff, like this stuff doesn't happen to someone like me. Like I have crazy stories on my channel, but something like this has never happened before. And maybe at a party, but like that's a whole different atmosphere. Like this is at a beach in the middle of the day, and she's asking us if we want to strip. And if it's like a hot girl, I'm still gonna say no, but if she does, I'm not gonna be upset about it, because you never take advantage of drunk people. But this girl was like persistent, and so she asked my friend. Like I was talking to her, she was making eye contact to me, and she just goes over to my friend Frank, and she's like, hey, do you want to see me strip? And he's like, nah, I'm okay, I have a girlfriend. And then my friend Chris was the third person she went to, and she's like, do you want to see me strip? And he's like, no, I'm good, sorry, thanks, it's nothing about you, I just, this is probably not a good place to do it. And she's like, we can go to my car. And he's just like, no, I'm okay, I'm sorry, I have a girlfriend too. And she was like, oh, okay. And so after she's done with us, she goes to these 2 guys, which are around our age, like high school type guys, and she goes over and asks the same exact question, right? This totally fucked up fat girl, and they're just laughing their asses off, right? Like, and at this point, me and my friends are just like giggling, like, oh my God, did that really just happen? And so she goes over to these two guys and she's like, do you want to see me strip? And these two guys, right, the typical like douchebag type guys, right? Like, me and my friends all have some chub on us. Like, we're not fat or anything like this girl, but I mean, we have some chub on us. And he was like, hell yeah, babe, do it. Like, right, one of these douchey guys. And she's like, okay. And so she pulls off her bra, and me and my friends are just like, oh no, because these weren't boobs. These were like man boob level. Like, these were like fat girl boobs, right? Like, saying you have boobs because you're fat is like saying you have abs because you're skinny. Like, same concept there. And so these were just fat boobs. And so she walks around and she's like, do you guys like that? And they're like, yeah, that's great. And she's like, do you want me to go further? And they're like, no, that's all right. But, you know, you should kind of just go walk out into the water like that. And she's like, okay. And so she goes out into the water, right? And right away, like, this lifeguard notices, and he comes down running, right? So he has his little giant red dildo lifesaver thing, and he's coming over. He's like, ma'am, you need to put a shirt on, and you need to leave the beach right now. And she's like, fuck you, like, straight up. So he calls up for backup, and he's like, what do I do? Like, this kid had no idea what to do, because he was like 17 or 18 or something. Like, this kid had no idea what to do. And he's like, okay, what do I do here? And so another guy comes, and then he's like, ma'am, you need to leave. And after she refuses again, they both grab her by the arms, like, try not to touch her like flab or anything, and they take her over to like this post. So it was like a little lifeguard post. I mean, it was really tiny, but it had a door on it, and it would close, and then it had like the windows where the lifeguard could look out. And so they took her up there, and like, meanwhile, everyone's just like laughing their asses off, right? And the kids, like, there were kids on the beach, and so at this point, I'm just thinking, like, what do the parents do when they do this? And of course, like, there was like this mom covering her kid's face and stuff. So they take the girl up to the post, and after that, I didn't really hear anything. Like, I don't know what happened after that. I'm assuming they called the cops or something, but that girl definitely could not drive home or anything. And I don't know, like, that was just an insane story. Like, I couldn't believe that happened to me. Literally one of the crazier stories I've told on my channel, and I know I say that about every video, but this one was seriously pretty nuts. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that video, definitely do leave a like, and tell me about some sort of situation. It doesn't have to be like this, but, you know, like a naked girl or something. I don't know. Tell me about it in the comment section below. I read every single one. I love you guys so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow.